Mr. Sweet is an objective-focused, level-based endless runner, where the goal is to run a certain distance, thereby unlocking the next level where you run a certain distance, thereby unlocking the next level where you run a certain distance, and so on, full of trippy visuals and creative obstacles. Even though it's a 3D lane-based endless runner, what's immediately noticeable about Mr. Sweet is how snappy the controls feel. The controls are incredibly fast, even for an endless runner, and it really ends up feeling more like a traditional 3D platformer due to the amount of control you have over your character. Switching lanes in the air is incredibly fluid and quick, and you can even force a landing by tapping the jump button while you're in the air, allowing for more precise platforming than in, well, most regular 3D platformers, honestly. It's a very rhythmic game, due so largely in part to the forced landing mechanic, where you decide when you want to land. There are also a large variety of playable characters, some of which change the game design completely. For example, with a large amount of the characters, you just walk at a predetermined speed and you deal with the obstacles as you come to them, but there are at least two characters that can alter their speed, one of which you're seeing on screen right now, that completely change the way you interact with the obstacles. In addition to there being variety in characters in the way they interact with the obstacles, there's also a large amount of variety in the visuals. I wouldn't call the level design itself varied, but the levels do slowly introduce new obstacles, which culminates in a final level where all the obstacles come together, so you don't feel as though you're overwhelmed by all the obstacles at once. It is a goal-based endless runner, but all of the obstacles are still randomly placed, so replayability is very much possible if you're into that, but it'll still take about 3 hours to complete all the stages by themselves, so even if you only want to do each stage one time, that's still going to get you some decent length out of the game. Even though the game feels amazing, the platforming is tight and the obstacles are really fun to move over and around. The biggest drawing factor for me was probably the really weird visuals and music. So if the visuals and music put you off, I guess you probably won't like it, but I think it's awesome. It's just a really fucking good game on virtually every level.